Well, in other words,
cars
like
are.
the cars that I want to flip nowadays are going to be Porsches, and actually even Porsches are difficult to flip because they hold their value really well. So like the Cayman that I bought that for cheap. And am I going to flip it? It's not really a flip, but by the time I sell it, I'll be able to sell it for more than I have into it, which is great.
Let me know, because kids are starting to drive now, so I know they're going to take my Camry. I'm like, I've been waiting. I'm like,
Yeah,
okay, I'm waiting.
yeah.
And I love Porsche.
Oh, they're fantastic.
I did a huge
You'll
research
have
paper
to
on them in
take a spin in
college.
the one that I have my Cayenne out there. That's about to get a bunch of work done to it, just to keep it, engine mounts, front arms, stuff like that. But
Yeah,
they're so tunable. They're so fun. And then the little Cayman, that thing is just,
it's fun.
oh, it is. It's one of those things where you're like, it's been getting the transmission completely redone on it, so
Oh,
it's almost
nice.
done.
That's awesome.
But that's a 20-year-old car.
Yeah,
It
it
doesn't
still
doesn't
looks
look it.
good.
Yeah, it doesn't look it.
Yeah, I did a huge research paper on them in college, just about how they made the transition of, okay, we have our niche market that all our Porsche people have.
Wait, what year was that?
It was back in 2013.
Okay.
So they were like, they almost went out of business, and they're like, we have to create new models of vehicles but still hold the Porsche quality in the engines.
Yep.
And we're going to create the sedan version,
Yep.
4-door. We're going to create the
That's
SUV.
that's where the Cayenne and the Panamera came into play. And
Yeah.
the Panamera is still not a big seller for them, but the Cayenne is.
Mm-hmm.
It's huge. The Cayenne kind of saved their butt a little bit. And
What size of engine is in there?
well, it depends. It depends on what you get. I have a 3.6 twin turbo in that, and it's the GTS. It replaced in the old 4.8 V8 in the prior one. Has more torque. It's lighter. I can throw a tune on there and push as much as the turbo model of the same year, the turbo V8.
Yeah.
So, but it's lighter weight. So that's a really good sweet spot. I love the GTS trim. Any Porsches, I like the GTS trim. For me, that's the sweet spot. I don't need the big turbos. I don't want the S or I want the GTS.
Yeah.
It's comfortable, it has all the options, usually looks great, but it has a little lower power and it's used sport tuned, which is perfect.
You're in like a Porsche club or something too, aren't
I
you?
am.
Okay.
I'm in the Porsche Club of America as well as the Inland Northwest chapter.
That's awesome.
And then I have, the two Porsches. I'm hoping to grab a 911 maybe if things go well, maybe this year. So we'll see.
That's awesome, man.
But it depends.
Big plans for 2026?
Very.
Yeah.
Getting married is one.
What?
Yes.
To the girl you're dating, obviously. You're like,
Oh.
no, somebody else.
Yeah, no, to the next one. You're like, wait, what?
No,
Yeah,
congrats,
yeah.
man.
Yeah. So
When did you propose?
I haven't proposed yet, but we've talked about it. And we're like, yeah,
so don't
that's-
air this up. Don't let her see this episode then.
Oh no, this is fine.
Okay.
I mean, she knows it's coming.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. We're to the point where it's like, hey, okay, we know it's happening. It's probably going to be in April because we're just going to make it fast, smooth, quick. Maybe in a year we'll have like a big party or something. But
Just stare straight into the camera and propose right now, and then when it airs, yeah. Congrats,
so
man. That's awesome.
that'll be great. It's really great when you finally find somebody that's willing to put up with all, your shit and everything else.
Your shenanigans.
Yep. And then you do the same for them, and you realize, oh my gosh, like you actually really do love each other.
Yeah.
And everything is right. You could, right on point with belief and what you want out of life and understanding entrepreneurship and all the above. So it's just,
Yeah, because you're a pretty devout Christian, aren't you?
yeah,
Pretty,
definitely. Yeah, absolutely. So that's big as far as, hey, things need to line up properly.
Yeah.
She needs to understand that. And I might be more mature in that area than she is because she's a lot newer to the faith than I am, but still that's something we can lock in with, which is
Yeah.
good. Plus makes things a lot easier.
Our approach when we got married was more like, okay, hon, do you squeeze the toothpaste tube from the top or the bottom?
Yeah.
Like top. Okay, well, you can't do that
You
anymore.
can't.
If this marriage is going to work.
And the toilet paper is supposed to come over the top,
Exactly.
not from behind.
Don't use my razor to shave any part of you. Yeah, that is one other ground on Noah.
There's a lot of little things here and there, but once you get to know them well enough, you're kind of like, oh, I don't have to worry about that because
Yeah.
she's well aware of that.
Yeah.
Stuff
Stuff works itself out. We've been married for
It does.
over 20 years. So,
Wow.
yeah, it's a long time, man.
Yeah.
You just figure stuff out, though.
Plus, when you build together too, there's a different vibe to it. So both of us are on point with what we need to do financially, and right now she's trying to figure out what she wants to do. She went away from high ticket sales, and trying to figure out what else she wants to do. So I'm like, well, it's okay. Take your time. I'll take it from here. Like I've got the money. We're fine. So it's allowing her to figure that out. And
I see you having your own show at a point. I know that sounds weird, but
eventually I've thought about having a show. I'm coining the term money bags. I already have the website, and I want to do stuff on finance, like creative finance and all that kind of stuff. That's the world that I'm in. I've thought about Phil in the blank
okay.
for a show.
Yeah.
I've also thought about Phil philosophy. So
Okay.
just hyphenated philosophy. So I thought about that too. I don't know. We'll see.
That's awesome, man. Are we rolling? We are rolling. See, he does that always.
We're always rolling.
So well, a lot of the questions, some of the questions I've already, when we first met and talked to you about, I'll probably still ask you again just so we can get it for viewers
Yeah.
and stuff. But so
I still remember like when we first actually did meet, but I don't even remember how many years ago that was.
you had the idea to do a podcast. Do you remember that?
Yep.
Yeah, like this was what, 5, 6, 7 years ago? That dude,
Something
you
like
would have
that.
caught a huge tidal wave if we'd have pulled it off back then.
True. Now it's like as long as you're teaching or you're, controversial to some extent, you're still going to get that tidal wave.
Yeah.
But it's not as easy as just throwing it out there anymore. You have to be controversial to some extent.
It's fun to go back and watch, like if you go to, say, Joe Rogan's podcast and go to the oldest videos and look at some of the first ones that he did, you're like, dude, this is garbage. But just to see the progression of,
Yeah.
And I think, I don't know, I guess, it's my mother-in-law. My mother-in-law's calling. Should I
Yeah.
answer this?
Yeah, go for it.
I'm going to answer this. Hey, Kimmy, we're filming a podcast right now. Can I call you back?
You're on the podcast now. Yeah.
Okay, call Rach. I got to let you go. Okay, bye. Well, tell camera viewers. So, what do you do? If
All
somebody
right.
says, "What do you do, Phil?" What do you tell? What's your? Do you have an elevator speech?
Well, I'll say first of all, 2 nicknames I am kind of going by nowadays. One is Money Begs, since my last name is Beggs, and that was given.
Beggs?
Yes,
Okay.
Beggs, Beggs. So Money Begs, and that was given to me by a lot of friends because I raised capital.
You're the money
And-
guy.
Exactly, I raised capital, and early on, I kind of realized, you know what? I need to figure out. It's not just real estate. I need to figure out how to raise capital. If I can actually raise capital, I can get a piece of any deal I want.
Yeah.
So I realized, okay, let's zero in on that. And then friends of mine started calling me Money Bags. And now I also say Phil in finance or Finance Phil. Either way works. But what I do is I own a hard and private money broker and lending company.
Mm-hmm.
We lend on real estate nationwide. And then I also have a second company that's mine that I strategically invest through. So I invest in gas and oil. I invest in now medical. So new medical devices coming out. So I'm investing in that. And usually I'm investing with other people's capital. I'm creatively taking capital in, investing it, and I'm negotiating equity and figuring out the long-term plays as well. So yeah, that's kind of what I'm doing now.
Okay.
And
I
then-
remember meeting you when we met a few years ago, and I remember when you
It was at
popped into
that
my
STCU gathering.
that chamber
Yes.
thing. Yeah.
It was
I was like,
it
I like this guy.
Amanda? Gosh, she's married now,
Yeah.
but she connected us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you were still doing? Weren't you still in the military? Or you were?
I was in the Air National Guard at the time.
Okay.
I think so, yes.
And
I
that's
was Air National Guard in time. That's out. That's gone. Glad to be out of there. Unfortunately, that crushed the dreams of what I hoped it would have been
yeah.
during COVID. But back then I think I was doing that, and there was some other stuff I was doing. I was flipping a lot of cars back then. I think I was doing that, and I was a superintendent for a construction company.
Okay.
Yeah.
You dabble in a lot of stuff. I just remember.
Oh,
God, I guess it's been about 6 months now, but I remember. I wonder what Phil's up to. I'm gonna look at him on Instagram, and I see you like on these private jets, and you're like, I'm like, holy crap, man!
Life is,
I gotta talk to this guy again.
life has definitely changed over the last few years.
So, because I think one of the I mean, obviously everybody wants a jet nowadays. Like that's the thing, I guess.
That is something that is on my bucket list to own. I would say within the next 5 years, I will have a share, about maybe a third share in a turboprop, and maybe I'm saying probably 10. I could probably do it in less. We'll see. But yeah, I'll own a jet too. It's definitely one of those things that I've wanted to do, and then I hung around people that did have those things and realized, oh, it's really not hard. It's actually quite attainable.
Yeah.
And then I realized, oh, okay, with all the plays I'm doing now, within 10 years, that'll be an easy acquisition.
So get me in on that, because I looked at buying a Gulfstream. It's an older one, because God, the maintenance on those things is so strict that they have to keep them. They have to keep them like so pristine in order to fly. This one was like, I think 25 years old, but it looked amazing, and it was like 900,000 or something.
So the biggest issue with a old jet is that most finance companies aren't going to lend on something that's over 20 years old. So you're buying that with cash.
Okay.
Secondly, there's things on jets that just time out. Such as the fire suppression system, or certain aspects of the engine or other components on the aircraft, that it's not about wear, it's about time. Oh, that's no longer good. You have to switch it out.
We forgot to change the tires, so when we came into land, they just exploded.
Right?
Okay.
So even like tires or the brakes or stuff like that, it's just astronomically expensive. It's one thing to be able to own one. It's a whole nother thing to be able to operate it. So if you're going to own something like that, it's going to be about $1 million a year to just have the thing.
To have a pilot on standby, I don't know what.
You got to have two at minimum. Honestly, it's better to have three if one's sick. So you'd have 3 on salary. You would have insurance. Then every single year, Gulfstream has you update your GPS database. You have to do it through them. Then there's the flap system. The flap system in a Gulfstream, it looks very clean. There's nothing hanging out. But because of that, they have an internal track system that has an exceptional amount of leverage, unfortunately, on those tracks because of how they're built. So they wear out prematurely.
Interesting.
It's not like a Bombardier that has big track systems and good leverage and all that. They're designed to look clean and beautiful, but they wear out.
Yeah.
So now it's like, if those don't retract, you're grounded.
Yeah.
So
it sounds like you're buying a big liability if you get into it.
At that point, you're buying a big liability. I would step up over time. I was looking at trying to acquire, with a bunch of investors, a Citation XLS Plus a few years ago. Found one, negotiated a good price on it. I think I negotiated around $4 million on it, and really well done, beautiful aircraft. But the way we wanted to do it, the numbers weren't going to work. So we ended up not going through with that deal, unfortunately, but I had it under contract. I had the investors interested. And when it came down to it, the numbers what the investors wanted and what I wanted wasn't going to work. They wanted access to it all the time. And I'm like, you don't get it. You can't have access to it all the time and me giving you interest on the money. You can't. It's one or the other.
To try to make that profitable, too, I think my buddy Jeff, they have a jet. And every time he says they fly to Vegas, it's something like $25,000 or something like ridiculous number.
It depends on the size of the aircraft, but yeah. Think of it this way. A jet is not about saving money. It's about saving time. That's what it is. It's a luxury and it's saving time. If you know that with the time saved, you can make more money than what it costs to fly, then by all means,
then it makes sense.
And that's what it makes sense. Nobody I've ever talked to that has a jet says it's there to save money. They say it's there to save time.
Yeah. Okay. Good. That's a good way to look at it. Well, so tell me how you got into what you're doing. I mean, when did you, all the way back to the day you were born, go? No. How did you get into that? How did you get into raising capital?
Gosh. Okay, so early on, I think teenager, late teens.
You're young. I thought you were in your 20s.
I'm 36.
For the record, 36. Okay, I thought you were like 28.
Healthy living, right?
Oh yeah, exactly.
I would say I got introduced to the ideology of entrepreneurship in my late teens by somebody who talked to me about Amway. And then I got
the Amway thing.
Then I got the idea of like, oh my goodness, I can leverage this and I can make a lot of money, possibly. I went in there and there was a few years where I just kind of hopped from different, MLMs around. And then I got into Texas Roadhouse and started managing and opening up roadhouses across the U.S. And I distinctly remember walking the floor on a Sunday at the Kennewick, Texas Roadhouse, which I had opened up 2 years prior. I was now managing that roadhouse as the front of house manager. I remember walking the floor, talking to my patrons, and in my head, I was like, what can I do so I don't have to do this anymore?
You reached that point of...
It was that thing. It wasn't like I hated my job, but I was working every weekend. There was no holidays. It was just constant. every weekend, every evening, there to midnight, closing up. And I'm just like, I don't want this life. What can I do? So started just thinking, what can I do? Eventually, it was figuring out.
How old were you at that time?
It's 20. I was 23 to 25 is when I was managing Roadhouses.
Okay, so you're pretty young.
Yeah, I was front house manager, and I had started with Roadhouse at 20, and I kind of worked my way up through all the stuff. So, but eventually, with reading a lot of books, listening to Tony Robbins and a lot of other influences, I figured out I just need to get around the right people.
Mm-hmm.
So when the opportunity happened to get around the right people, I took it. Prior to that, I was like, I need to work for myself. So I started flipping cars, and this was during COVID. Started flipping cars and making good money because I knew cars. I worked on them for years on my own, not as a job. Started making money, and then realized, okay, I need something to hold me over a little bit with the bills, but it can't be any old thing. And this is all going into the story of where I'm at now.
Yeah.
So I was like, what kind of job can I get that I would love and I'm willing to give my time up for money? Because at that point, it wasn't about really what it paid. It was like, am I willing to give my time up for a paycheck?
Yeah.
Because I hated that at that time. That's why I was trying to work for myself. The Jet Center in Coeur d'Alene was the option. So Stancraft Jet Center. So I decided to go there, and I'm like, I'm going to get this job.
Because you like jets, or like what was the draw?
The draw was, one, there was enough pay offered to cover the bills. Two, I love aviation.
Mm-hmm.
Three, I was going to be around people who owned jets. Well, obviously they're doing something right.
That's really smart. Yeah.
And so I was like, well, great. I need three things. I need to love it. It needs to pay for the bills, and I need to be able to earn or gain something from it. And that was the experience and connections with these people.
That's really smart, because like when you hear the saying, surround yourself with really successful people, I remember I always asked, well, how do I surround myself? How do I find them? How do I find the successful people that I want to be around? And then that's a good methodology I'm going to start in an industry where I know there's going to be really, really high profile, wealthy people that I'm going to be talking to.
And I was the align tech, so I was out there fueling jets, moving them around, unloading baggage. And so I've brushed shoulders with Usher and Justin Bieber and the Kardashians, and they're fine. It's it's okay. JB's actually a really cool guy.
Mm-hmm.
But the cool part was when I got to meet Tony Robbins. So I got to meet him outside of his jet. I just got to say thank you to him. He ended up approaching me. We chatted for a few minutes. And then he gave me a ticket to UPW in Florida.
Awesome. He's as cool in person as he is on?
He's as cool in person as you would ever want him to be. He's an awesome person. He has a house
here, doesn't he? In Coeur
so
d'Alene?
he has I believe he used to have a house in Black Rock. He still might. And then I know he has one down in Sun Valley and stuff like that.
I heard Hayes here. I heard Ed Milet's here.
I've met Ed Milet too. He's fantastic as well.
Love his stuff.
Yeah.
He has his book too. You've got to read his book.
Yes.
Trying to think of the name. The
Power
name
of
is
One More.
That one. Yeah. Really, really good.
It's great.
Yeah.
It's wonderful.
Awesome.
So it's been great. I've been able to brush shoulders with a lot of cool people. Stemming from that, I remember following one guy that would fly out of the Jet Center quite often, and I messaged him over Instagram and said, hey, I see you fly out of here. I'm so-and-so. I'm one of the line techs here. Would love to get to meet you someday and, figure out how you made it where you are today.
Yeah.
I ended up seeing him come into a coffee shop after I'd left the Jet Center. And I was like, oh, it's time. So a lot of this has been opportunity of just been like, it's time, grab the opportunity. Mm-hmm. Say thank you, go meet the person, whatever it is. Met him, and he's like, hey, I have something going on, but let's chat, this time a little bit later. So we did, told me of something he had going on in Mastermind, and told me the price of it, way more than I had. But I was like, hold my spot.
Right. I'll figure out a way.
And I'll have the money for you.
Yeah.
Went and found a car in Sandpoint. It was selling for $1,000. I went up there, did some research on it, realized the issue was a $5 issue.
Oh, wow.
So I gave them what they were asking for. I said, you want $1,000? Here's $1,000. You got it. Took that home, fixed the issue, put a little more money into it to make it better, sold it for about $5,000. So I think I made like $4,800 on that. Mm-hmm. Went ahead and gave him his money. Took a little bit of money myself, went and flipped another car, paid rent.
Awesome.
And I've done that twice where it's like either pay rent and run out of money or go flip a car, hopefully pay rent and then flip another car and have money.
That risk factor, though, like that's so many people are willing to invest money into vacations
Yeah.
and furniture, but they never invest money into themselves to become
Yeah.
better, to learn a new skill. That's what's really cool.
At this point, over the last 4 years, I think I've invested about a little over north of 100K in self-development
Awesome.
with trips, coaching, masterminds, investment to myself, all that kind of stuff. It's probably been 6 figures in the last 4 years, and that has helped out immensely. So now it's the connections I have. That mastermind I went into connected me with many more people where I learned how to raise capital. I built connections and trust through that. I built connections with other people that now are mentors of mine or connections to mentors. One of those connections is connecting me with a billionaire that wants to fund a lot of things.
A lot of projects.
And that wouldn't have happened without making that choice years ago to be resourceful. And all these different connections.
So you're working at this jet place then.
Yep.
You're meeting people, but then you said you left there at a point.
I did. I left there when I had a better opportunity to create some fast cash. So I did that, left, and then basically realized, okay, I need to really make this work I need to really make working for myself work. I can't just do it part-time. So I went full-time into flipping cars. And that went great for some time. Then I got a superintendent job with a construction company. That went well for a little bit. And then I realized, okay, I need to learn to raise capital. So I branched out, went into a mentorship with somebody else that I met in that mastermind, learned how to raise capital, ended up raising, I think I've raised just north of 20 million now from private investors. And some of that's my own projects. A lot of it was his. I left there and to start my own thing. And there was multiple reasons of why I left, but no need to get into that. And being able to do something for myself has been very freeing. It's been difficult, but it's been really freeing.
Describe that transition, though, because I know it because we're self-employed.
Yeah.
And I remember leaving the job, the security of I'm going to get a paycheck, my bills are going to get paid. But like you were saying earlier, am I willing to keep doing this and trade my time? I'm like, no, I don't want to keep doing this. So I was working for Liberty Mutual at the time. I was an inside property. So we'd literally have the person pull out their iPhone or their iPad and they're going through and they're like, oh, my floor is all soaked because the toilet overflowed and you got to do this assessment and write me a check. And it was miserable.
Yeah.
I hated that job. But I remember the feeling of being able to say, okay, I'm going to pull the trigger. I'm going to be 100% self-employed now. It's all up to me.
Yeah.
How freeing that was. This weight is off your shoulders. You get a new weight in a sense of, okay, it's all up to me. I don't have the security anymore.
Right.
But at the same time, it's all up to you.
Yes.
So if you fail, well, it's all up to you. But describe that transition if you could. The feeling or you were 1099, so you were still...
Yes, I was 1099, so I was still in charge of all my own taxes, and I was full commission. So, nothing came in if I didn't build relationships, be better with my selling, learn how to actually raise that capital. So it wasn't like it was just being handed to me.
Yeah.
And there was several investors that I brought back into that group that initially had started and fallen off, and I brought them back in, and I brought in new people, and again, raised a lot of money. Through some of those connections that trust me a lot, I've raised even more capital for my own projects, the gas and the oil and other things. And understanding how money works has allowed me to jump into this new venture and not be too worried about it.
Talk about that. What do you mean how money works? I know what you mean, but
so
tell me what you mean.
Understanding that I don't need money. I just need access to other people's money. And if I have access to other people's money through trust, care, integrity, stuff like that, then I can easily make the money for myself. But it's like, if I can do that and make them win, now I'm setting myself up to win very largely in 5 to 10 years from now, because I've learned how money works in that predicament. Money just cares about making more. It just cares about being protected and making more.
Yeah.
And if you know how to do that, then anybody's going to give you money.
Well, yeah. If I give you a check for $50,000 and you come back to me in 3 months or 6 months and say, here's $60,000, here's your extra 10 grand or whatever. I'm just using fake numbers, but I want to give you more and then more and more and more.
Exactly.
Money attracts money.
Yeah. So now I'm taking larger risks. I'm letting people invest. And these are private investors that I have personal relationships with. So these aren't, I'm not like out there marketing and stuff. I'm not to that point yet, but these are relationships I've built and say, hey, we want to invest, but I want to invest through you. And I'm like, okay, you can do that. Here's how we're going to do it. And it comes to the point where they give me a loan, and it's written as a loan. And then I invest the money, and I give them a return that they want on the money. And then in 5 years, that comes back to them. But now I own what that loan went out to secure. And then I get the cash flow mid through those years and afterwards. And so, again, I'm learning how to use other people's capital to invest in opportunities I don't have the ability to take advantage of at the moment, so that I can actually have a piece of the pie now and the full pie later.
So most of your investments, is it based on, like, say you take a loan, you invest in, I don't know, a big real estate project, like a new marina, whatever.
Sure.
Do you tend to, most of the reward that you get back, is it typically just cash, or do you try to focus on, hey, I want to own a piece of this project when it's all said and done?
Right. It all depends upon the opportunity. So I look at an opportunity and say, okay, is that something that's going to benefit me and the person that's going to give me the money?
Yeah.
And how much is it going to benefit them? So for oil and gas, the tax write-offs are insane. It's incredible what the tax write-offs are, both for the initial invested amount and for the amount that comes back in interest. So it's like learning how to take that and bring it into an explainable cookie that they can eat and understand, allows them to say, okay, we get it. Here's the money. And then I understand that the amount that it produces is above and beyond what they're getting back. So then I have a cushion. But it's understanding how that works. Now, they might not want to take the kind of risk that oil and gas has. So they're going to take a lower amount and go into real estate, first position real estate. I do that through Altura Funding, which is my company there. So I have private investors that come in and lend through that, and I set them up, and I'm just brokering the deal at that point. I'm not managing the deal. I'm just brokering it. Eventually, I'll have our own money that comes in. We'll be a direct lender here this year. We should be a direct lender. So that'll be amazing.
I know. I think oil and gas, I just got done watching the last episode of Landman last night.
Yeah.
Demi Moore's going all in with 10% chance of hitting gap. Like 10%, like 10% chance of seeing success. That would,
if you're wildcatting, yeah.
Yeah.
But if you're actually doing, careful analysis with a good geologist, then no, you have a much better chance of hitting. So that's the company that I'm doing it through does things the right way. They don't wildcat. They're looking for the right piece of land. They look at it. They research it. They have the geologist come, and they haven't drilled
all the seismic info. And all the...
Out of 170 wells, I think they've drilled 2 dry ones.
Wow.
So yeah, they're pretty good.
That's awesome.
Yeah, because it's like I'm looking at that. Whenever I'm taking on a risk like that, now that money is, I'm responsible for it. I got to make sure it's being put into something that creates the cash, is sustainable, and has less risk. Everything has risk, but it's just less of it.
Well, one of the reasons that I liked when we met a couple months ago that I wanted to work with you, obviously you're a cool guy. I like you as a person, but it was kind of what we were talking about before. We need to diversify because we've got our merchant services portfolio, which is kind of diversified in itself. Like we were saying, we might have, tons of different accounts. It could be a doctor, it could be a restaurant, it could be a gym, whatever. So if one of those industries gets affected, it doesn't impact us that much. But then again, if the merchant services industry itself changes, then it's like, that's a huge chunk of income. I don't want to be leveraged so heavily in just one space. So we started our Medicare business, and we've got just under 1,000 clients right now. And that's, so it's a lot of people to manage, but it's only during AEP, it's annual enrollment period. And that does us really well, but it's just those two industries. And it's like, they're so volatile, especially with, Medicare. I have no idea what's going to happen to Medicare even in the next 5 or 10 years. Is it going to go bankrupt? What's going to happen to Social Security? All these things that everybody's dependent on, all the baby boomers are moving into that space, and it's putting a huge strain on the system. Like, what's going to happen? Are we going to go to a one-payer healthcare system and then my entire business is gone?
Is your merchant services digitized yet, or is it still machine operated?
Most of them are machine operated, and our niche was being up here, actually.
Genre.
Yeah, exactly. Poinsettia. It was just being in kind of I say northern Idaho because we're just over the border here. But it was being in this area where a lot of people still, it's okay, let's do business with a handshake.
Right.
Sign here, great. Am I going to read through this document? Oh, no, this is what it means. Okay, great. I'll
Yeah.
sign it. We'll do it. And we've been really, really big advocates of making sure that we do all the equipment set up. Like me personally, I'll
Right.
go there, I'll install everything, I'll test everything.
Yeah.
And if somebody calls me, they have my cell phone, they can text me, as opposed to calling, Bob in Bangladesh on a
Right.
1-800 number that they're never going to be able to
Right.
figure out what's going on. So that's been our really retention factor.
Mm-hmm.
So we've retained most of our accounts over the course of 10 plus years.
That's really good.
Yeah, and but could I do that in New York or California? Probably not.
Yeah.
Maybe I could, I don't know. But
How many digital services are there like yours, but they do it digital? Like, there's Stripe,
yeah, Stripe
things like that. So I'm kind of wondering, I'm like, if you really wanted to branch out into that industry even more, what if you were able to develop a online portal that you can connect with anything out there? Because all of a sudden that takes your pool of potential customers and just blows it up.
Yeah. I
don't know,
thought
just a
about
thought.
it. No, it's a good question. I thought about it, and there's a lot of companies that are just kind of the analogy I use is the business is like a house. A company like Authorize.net, that's a big one.
Uh-huh.
They're owned by Visa. They'll kind of take all the information. They'll generate all the tokenization. I don't want to get in all the lingo, but they're kind of the fence around the house. And then you have to have a gate to get into the fence. So creating
Yep.
like a portal, like a Stripe or something, you could do that. I don't know what the development cost would be, and I honestly,
Yeah.
I don't like merchant services anymore.
Gotcha.
I don't like the industry. It's a crooked industry because you have a lot of sales guys running around that there's no regulation. The banks are regulated, but as far as like a sales guy can say whatever the hell he wants to. He can
Yeah.
promise the world. He can say, "Oh, I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this, and sign here, and you're good to go." And then you never hear from him again.
Right.
So those are the guys that you're competing with. I'm like, I don't want to be that guy. I don't want to be. So we don't
Yeah.
have a huge portfolio. We make a couple $100,000 a year with that business, which is great.
Right.
And it's all residual, so I don't have to really go work for it. It just
Right.
comes in, which
And
is wonderful.
that's the beautiful part about that.
Yeah, I mean, I
It's
work
like it might only be this much, but you don't have to do it anymore.
right.
It just comes in.
Yeah, I mean, I work very little. I maybe put in, honestly, I'd say per month, maybe 5 hours,
Yep.
5 to 10 hours at most of actual, I have to go do something.
Yep.
And that's it. So it's been nice in that avenue, but I just don't like the industry anymore. I'm just sick of it.
Yeah.
I've done it since 2009, so almost 20 years. I'm like, I just want to be done with it and move on to raising capital with you, or
It is very, very powerful.
something different, or go get
Yeah.
my pilot's license. We'll start that jet company, and I'll be the pilot or one of them. No.
How many hours of instruction do you have?
Like 2.
Okay.
I got like halfway through
I'm
the
at like
ground school.
10 or 12 or something like that.
You got some logged hours though.
But I've got a lot of hours with like friends of mine, but that's not instructional hours, in a pilot seat. So that's not CFI. That's not pilot in command. So
Right.
yeah, that's been
It's expensive. It's a
It
lot
is.
of upkeep. You have your check rides every 2 years or something.
I'm
You
to the
have-
point now I could just go and take care of it and just get it done, but I shouldn't right now. There's a difference between when you can and when you should.
Right.
And so later this year, I think I'll just go ahead and take 2 weeks or a month and just fly and get it all done.
I'll
But,
do it with you. We'll get a 172. I'll sit in the back so I can listen to the instructor, and you're getting the hours, and then we'll flip flop and
just flip it.
yeah. I don't know if you can do them with like the Microsoft simulator now. Can you log actual hours?
There is a simulator that is good for instrument rating and stuff like that. There's one at the Coeur d'Alene Airport, so you can actually go in there and do that.
It's your
and you
iFar.
can. It's
Yeah.
like $90 an hour versus like 150 or something,
Okay.
or 200. So
Interesting.
yeah,
Yeah, but back to
Yep.
back to capital and stuff. So I guess we just wanted to diversify. And so when I met you, I thought, okay, this is a way that we can put our money with somebody in a company that you're, like you were saying, you can kind of go out and say you're going to invest in oil, you're going to invest in you were talking about a movie earlier. I don't know if we could say anything, but maybe invest in a movie project or
Right.
real estate, or you don't have to say
Yeah.
anything. But
When it comes down to the movie and stuff like that, I simply want to I'm just going to raise those funds to invest in that. And it's not really, those funds aren't coming in with an expectation of large returns. That's coming in to stimulate the economy. And that's going to be part of the package. So I'm just going to peel off what they need for that and say, here you go. But obviously there's going to be a return, which is great. But that's going to be kind of fun to do that. And then as things grow, I want to be one of those funders for them to do that kind of stuff. But yes, I'm not going to tell people to go invest in movies, but I'll help to raise some of that capital on their own. But oil and gas, real estate, stuff like that. This oil and gas company this natural gas company that I'm going to be a part of, that's a unique opportunity because that's just like they need working capital and I negotiated equity. And then that wasn't on the table. I made it on the table.
So when you broker these things or when you put these packages together, do you kind of sit down and say, okay, here's what these guys are needing. They need a loan to pay off this, to rebuild this marina or whatever.
Right.
And you kind of just decide, how much do I want to get out of this? And you kind of create the deal. Does that make sense?
Yes. So essentially I might have somebody that comes to me and says, hey, I need money for this. So as it is right now, trying to raise north of 9 figures right now for all these different projects that I'm a part of, including my own company. So when it comes down to that, you understand the need, and then you find out, okay, how does this benefit me? Because at this point, I'm not going to raise capital for somebody unless it does benefit me.
Right.
Why would I put that work in? I'll just put it into my own projects.
Right.
So it's like, well, if I'm going to go ahead and risk my reputation on raising capital for their project, I need equity, I need something in there. And I'm realizing that my own company with originating loans, I can easily bring in a great income. If I'm going to do negotiations for all these other companies, I'm going to grab equity. I want the long-term play. So don't worry about the fee up front. I'll grab equity. So for this natural gas company, I'm not grabbing any fees. I'm just grabbing equity. And that should turn into, on the low end, 10 million in a few years. On the high end, 30. And that's going to be fantastic. Like, I'm realizing this is a good play. Medical company is similar to that, where that thing is, that's one of those like moonshots. It's one of those things you happen to come across because you built all these connections in the past. Now there's the opportunity. You just got to raise the millions to get in to do it. But if I get in to do that, a decade from now, that's hundreds of millions.
You're set,
if not more.
yeah.
So it's one of those things where you finally realize, oh my gosh, that one little choice back here allows me to take advantage of these opportunities now, but I still have to work to take advantage of it.
See that process?
They're not dropping your lap.
Yeah, that process of, I think people forget because you see, what's his name? I saw this on a Ryan Serhant real estate show. It's this guy, I think is I Speed something.
Yeah.
And, he's a kid and he's doing all these different live streams and he makes like, I don't know, 10, $20 million a year just doing it. I'm like, and I think so much of the younger generation, people that are in like their 20s and stuff, they think, how do I make money really, really quick? And
Right.
they're so focused on how do I make money really, really quick? And they forget, usually that doesn't happen. Usually it's what you did. It's, okay, I had to take these steps. I had to meet the right person. Then when the opportunity came, I flipped the car. I got the mastermind ticket. I did this. I learned some stuff. So you didn't go to college then?
I went to college for 2 semesters, did general studies, did not know what the heck I wanted to do. And what really triggered my mindset in college to get out, and I basically dropped out, was the fact of, why am I trying to learn business from people who don't run successful businesses?
I love it. I love that. That's
Why?
100% correct.
And it's, I can be taught history from somebody who knows a lot about history, great. But why am I being taught business from a business professor who has no business?
Yeah.
And who just teaches concepts that, to some extent, are outdated?
Yeah. Because he went to Harvard or
Yeah.
no,
It's
not
like,
really.
screw that. When it comes down to it, I've realized that the market only cares what you can produce. They don't care about the credentials you have if you can't produce.
So
Harvard, who cares? If you can't produce, get out of here.
Yeah.
You know?
I've asked this question on previous podcasts. Do you think college is a waste of time?
Currently, unless you are doing something that requires a,
Like a law degree or something.
a law degree, doctor, whatever it is, when there is all this stuff to learn about, unless you're doing that, yes, it's a waste of time.
I agree. Yeah.
Education is not a waste of time. College is. And the reason is most people that go to college and get a degree end up not using that degree.
I haven't used my degree. I'm still paying on
Yeah.
student loans, man.
So
Still paying on student loans.
I educate myself constantly. I wouldn't say, well, yeah, I'm learning every day. I would say I read multiple times a week. Unfortunately, I don't read every single day, but I read multiple times a week. And I'm learning stuff in my industry because I'm like, now I know that I'm in the capital industry. Let's learn that because then I can do anything else I want to do. Business and capital raising. But people that like learn and educate themselves, that's where it's going to be. I think the right degree can make you rich, but self-development will make you wealthy.
I like that. I like that.
And that's where you have to understand. Like it's.
So what would you say to somebody that's, I don't know, maybe they're early 20s, they're 21, 22, well, that's when I went to, I graduated, I worked at Micron for a couple of years. I took some night classes, like 1 or 2, and so didn't really go to college, and then I decided one day, I'm like, I think I need out of here. I don't like where this trajectory is.
Right.
And I called up my twin brother, and I was
That's
like,
right. You're a twin.
yes, we
So
don't
I'm a
even look
twin too.
related. You're a twin too?
Yeah.
Oh, I forgot that.
Yeah.
Oh, geez.
Are you the oldest or youngest?
I am 1 minute younger.
1 minute. Oh,
1 minute, yeah.
Baby.
Sarah and I
Gosh.
grabbed him. They're like, oh, get this out of the way. There's what we're looking for. No, not really. Sorry, Chris. But yeah, so I call him up and I'm like, bro, I got to get out of this job. I don't know what to do. I'm thinking of going to college. He's like, oh, man. I'm like, how do you afford to go? He's like, student loans, bro.
Did you know that a student loan is one of the only loans ever that you can never get rid of unless you pay it off?
Oh, yeah. No,
Yeah.
when we claimed bankruptcy.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
It's still with
stays
us.
there.
Yeah.
I mean, the government will write off all their issues, but no, yours
Yeah.
got to stay.
You're stuck with it. Yeah. Yeah, it didn't go away. And, and he had the GI Bill and was in ROTC, and so they were kind of paying for his
I
school and
gotcha.
stuff. So he doesn't have the student loans that I do, but I think racked up $40,000 or $50,000.
Ooh, I was lucky I think I only racked up just north of $5,000
Okay.
because I was at community college for, it was NIC for like two semesters,
That's smart.
and then I realized, I don't want to do anything here.
So what would you say? Because I think the problem that with kids and they graduate high school, they look at their parents, they're like, what should I do? Like, I know my kids, my oldest is 17. Hey, bud, what do you want to do when you get out? He just wants to do D&D forever. He loves Dungeons and Dragons. That's all he would do. If that's given the chance, he would do that for a living. But the other one, he's 15. And he's like panicking in some sense. He's like, I don't know what to do. I don't know what I want to do for a career. But I think of so many of our parents, the mindset is still stuck there of you have to graduate, go get a degree,
It's
get
indoctrinated
a good job.
to them.
Yeah.
What do you expect them to pass on down?
Yeah.
They're
So what
just-
would you
yeah.
say? Because you don't have kids yet.
No, I don't have kids yet.
What would you say then if somebody, some 21-year-old hotshot, you see the fire in his eyes, he wants to do something, he doesn't know what to do, he doesn't know where to get started, he wants to make a lot of money, he wants a private jet, he wants a Ferrari, whatever.
Right.
What
Could
do
have-
I do, man?
He
What
could
do
easily
I
have
do?
that by the time he's 30 and not be over leveraged. So a lot of these people that get that fast, they leverage everything. Leveraging isn't wrong as long as it's not a depreciating asset.
Right.
If you leverage a depreciating asset, you better have the extra income to take care of it. Anyway, what I would tell them, and I'm trying to work this in with my brothers right now, they're just turned 26. What I would say is don't worry about what you want to do yet. Here are things that you should do and should learn. 1, learn how money works. They don't teach this in school. Learn how money works. Read books on finance, personal finance, know how to leverage it, know how to raise it. 2, learn human psychology. Learn how to connect, and build rapport with people. Know how to connect and manage people. Know how to daily life, a variety of different people. Know how to do that. I know how to do that really well, but I've built it up over
Where
a lot
did
of
you,
time.
do you feel like you learned that in
I
the
learned it-
restaurant industry?
I learned it by being around a lot of people, knowing how to navigate different kinds of people, and then actually studying it. So I've read tons of books on human connection, psychology, and building that,
I have a good one for you to check
and
out if you haven't read it.
relationships
It's
and
called
things like that.
Hexaco.
Hexaco.
And it goes into like the difference between like narcissism and psychopaths, and like it breaks down what people focus on and why they're this kind of person. It's not a long read. It's like this thick.
Right.
Really good book. I'll loan it to you if you want. Yeah,
No, sure,
Hexaco.
yeah. Actually, on that note, that's just a sliding scale, just like anything. Like on the spectrum, we're all on the spectrum. We're just not on that side of it.
Right.
If so it's just like when it comes down to narcissism or anything else, like it's a spectrum,
Yeah.
and it's just like you just don't want to be in the spectrum where you can't actually visually see your own faults.
Mm-hmm.
If you can't see your own faults and actually have accountability, you're way too far.
Yeah.
You know?
I tell people I'm a narcissist just masquerading as a highly sensitive introvert.
That's funny.
So
What I would
teach-
tell them is, learn money, learn human psychology, understand business, understand how to what to do with business. And then I would say, gosh, probably the next one. I mean, those cover a lot.
Is there a certain book that you read? I remember one of the first
Yes.
Robert Kiyosaki, Rich Dad Poor Dad. I
I've
remember.
never read it.
Really?
No, I've never read it. The reason is I've gotten so much insight from it, from snippets and other people.
Yeah.
I feel like I don't need to read it. Is it a good book? I'm sure it is. It's great. But to be honest, I'm past that book.
It's really. I mean, you're right. It's a different industry, different time. That.
I understand the concepts of it, and
Yeah.
I'm past that book. And I'm no longer entering into this field. I'm past that.
Yeah.
And so, great book, absolutely. Somebody needs to read it. Definitely. I haven't read it, but I know it's a good book.
Okay. As far as learning money, then, is there anything else that you would? There's another one you might like. It's The Psychology of Money.
I've heard of it. I haven't read it yet.
Oh, it's good.
Yeah.
Morgan Housel, I think that's his last name. Really, really good book. I do a lot of audiobooks. Because if I go on drives,
Yeah.
I love just getting indoctrinated with stuff.
A lot of the understanding of money for me has come through a lot of podcasts. Some of it's come through Tony Robbins' Money Master the Game. Some
That's
of
a
it's
good one,
been
too.
through Ray Dalio, Principles or by Ray Dalio.
Yeah.
And a few other books here and there, or on business and all that. But a lot of it's come through experience. Seeing the experience of other people, understanding what happened with mentors, them telling me stories of their friends that messed up with capital. It was a white collar crime. They didn't do it intentionally, but they still got caught.
Yeah.
In other words, they were trying to fix things. They had a good heart with it, but they did something illegal. Somebody caught it, and even though they were doing it for the right reasons, it got busted. So understanding how it can be a slippery slope, you got to be careful
Yeah.
with it. Another one that I've learned from with people, in other words, was Winning with People. Now, there's the other book a lot of us have heard, How to Win Friends and Influence People by Dale Carnegie.
Yep.
That's a fantastic book. I've read a little bit of it. I really love the book by John C. Maxwell called Winning with People. I love a lot of what John Maxwell puts out. I've met the guy a few times.
I
Amazing.
did too. Yeah, we met him at an Amway convention.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah.
Nice.
I didn't want to get his signature. Everybody was getting their book signed. And
Yeah.
when it gets up, I said, I don't want your signature. I just want to meet you.
I knew he was going to be at a conference, and I knew I was probably going to get the chance to meet him,
Yeah.
perhaps. And so I brought some books of mine for him to sign.
Yeah.
I ended up touching base with him outside in the hallway.
Yeah,
I ran
neat
him like,
guy.
oh, there he is.
Yeah.
And I just so I got to chat with him for a bit, and then I got him to sign some books for me, and that's
awesome.
been great.
Yeah.
But that's Winning with People. That's been a great one. And then been a bunch more. I don't know.
Ice Cream is for Winners by Stephen Morton. Have you read that one?
I haven't read that one yet. I've heard it's great.
I've got another one coming out here soon.
I've heard the author's pretty
Fact-
cool too.
Yeah,
So.
he is pretty
Yeah.
pretty neat guy. Yeah.
Is
Very-
that the ice cream? Pretty cool. So
Yeah, exactly. You have to, when you do read, if you do like the audio version, or would you rather open a book and?
I do a lot of audiobooks, and it's great. The audiobook I'm going through right now is 10X is Easier Than 2X by Dan Sullivan and Michael Hardy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think it's... Anyway, that's a really good one. But yes, I do a lot of the audiobooks. That's
Okay.
great. Every now and then I sit down and do an actual paper one.
Yeah. Okay.
So,
I like it.
that's helpful.
So would you then, back to the advice of like the next generation, when you talk about money stuff, is there a concrete thing? Because I remember for me, I don't want to give you the answer I'm looking for,
Sure.
but getting leveraged in college was the worst thing that I did. When I was working at Micron, I'm like, I'm going to buy a car. I'm going to run up some credit card debt. I'm going to buy a camcorder. I'm going to buy a cool stereo, like whatever was on my to-do list back then. And then I remember thinking, I'm never going to get out of this. I'm never going to get out from underneath these debts. And I think that probably holds a lot of people back, because if you'd had a whole bunch of student loans instead of $5,000, you're like, crap, I have to go get a job. I can't afford not to.
Yep. It actually just keeps you in the system is what it does. That
transition would be almost impossible.
Yeah.
I just remember when we were, I was working for DSHS. And so I remember when we were building our business, I had to sit down with Rachel and I'm like, babe, I got to get a job. And she was in tears. She was just bawling. And she's like, I feel like we're going to lose everything. We've worked so hard up to this point and we're going to lose everything. And I'm like, no, we won't. I'm like, I'm just going to work my ass off on nights and weekends outside of the job to keep building the company so that we can eventually transition away from working for somebody. But I don't know. I mean, is there any other concrete thing that you would tell somebody, do this or don't do this?
The biggest change to my trajectory was getting around the right people. So get around people that are either living at the level you want to live or have done the thing you want to do.
How? How do I meet them? How do I find them?
Biggest thing is put yourself in their way. So figure out, what do wealthy people do? What do they own? Where do they go? How do they spend their money? The more you learn about what wealthy people do, the more you'll understand that wealthy people aren't wealthy because they do what they do now. They're wealthy because they did a certain amount of criteria, certain things to get there. A lot of wealthy people are like, oh, diversify. Most of those wealthy people never got there by diversifying.
Interesting.
They stay there by diversifying, but they didn't get there by diversifying. This is a common misconception that a lot of people think about. They're like, oh, well, the average millionaire has 7 streams of income. Well, guess what? He didn't become a millionaire by 7 streams of income. He came by mastering 1, maybe 2 things, and then that made him that, and now he diversifies to have a wealthy blanket instead of, a wealthy, cup thing. It's just, you do that to keep it. You hyperfixate to get wealthy, and you diversify to stay wealthy.
Interesting.
So that's what I would say is like, hey, guys, listen, think about one thing you want to do, but get around a lot of wealthy people. Figure out what businesses they're in. They're probably boring businesses. They're not the next tech startup. They're probably boring businesses that everybody needs regardless. If the poor person needs it, the wealthy person needs it. It's big.
That's a good point. Cody, do you know who Cody Sanchez is? Have you seen her videos? She talks about that. She talks about, hey, you know what? If you go buy this laundromat, that is not exciting at all, but if it generates all this cash flow every month.
I would say laundromats are great to learn business. They're a non-sexy business that you can get into. You can usually do seller finance. Bar's pretty low to get in. That's great. Learn business. You're not going to get wealthy off of a laundromat unless you have a lot of them.
So when you say learn business,
but it's a great place to learn business.
So when you say learn business, do you mean, well, what do you mean when you say learn business?
Sure. When I say learn business, is figure out how to be in business for yourself. Now you're the one that realizes I have to balance these books. Obviously, you can get somebody else to do the books. I don't do my own books. Why? It's not I just need to know, where the money is going. That's good enough for me. But that's not my expertise. I'm going to hire that out. That's what Dan Martell always talks about. I've talked with him about it. It's buy back your time. If it's not in your lane, give it to somebody else. My lane is making calls and shaking hands.
Gotcha.
And raising capital. If it's on the computer, unless it's something like an email, give it to somebody else. So one is find out what you want to do, but first find out how money works. Find out how to communicate and connect with people. Find out how to be around the right people. The reason you want to do the other 2 first is so that when you finally get around the right people, you can actually hang.
You can have a conversation.
You can hang with them. You know how to connect.
You're not a boring
You know how to
individual.
listen. Ask good questions. Understand how money works. So when they say something, you can actually pitch in or say, tell me more about that. This is what I've heard. What do you say? So this is where wealthy people love to give advice when they're asked and all that. So it's like, learn how these 2 things work. So when the opportunity to get around the right people comes, you can take advantage of it.
Gotcha.
Getting around the right people, get into some masterminds. But make sure it's not just a whatever mastermind. It's something maybe along the lines of an industry you want to get into, whether it's real estate or something like that.
Do you find masterminds with people that are obviously credible, like a Tony Robbins kind of thing? Yes, or like a Grant Cardone or whatever, based on the industry you want to get into. Do you ever go to a mastermind like, I have no clue who this person is, but
No.
maybe it's worth it?
Any mastermind I've ever been a part of or go to, I either know of or know personally the guy who's running it.
Gotcha.
So this next one I'm going to be in, which is the boardroom mastermind, it was an invite only. So one of my mentors that I stayed in touch with and invested in eventually told the boardroom mastermind to reach out to me. I was never interested in joining, but they reached out to me and said, hey, so-and-so wants you to be part of this. We have a criteria, but he wants you here, so it doesn't matter. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, wow. Because
awesome.
At that point, that criteria was above and beyond what I was doing every year. I didn't have...
Certain net worth in.
Yeah, certain net worth, certain income coming in, because they wanted to make sure the room was vetted. This is all real estate and capital. And make sure that this was vetted. This just wasn't full of like people that are like hoping to do stuff. It was people that are established enough to be doing bigger deals.
They don't want some brand new Mary Kay salesman coming in. And...
So it's all vetted, and it's like, hey, there's other masterminds you can be a part of to get to this level. But I'm in on an invite.
That's awesome.
And I'm excited to be able to do that and create more success from that. But that happened by being around the right people, finding out how to pay the price to be in the right room. Mm-hmm. The Jet Center was great. That got me connected with some people, but I had to take the opportunity to reach out, see the person, go and say hi, and then realize, oh, there's an opportunity. He's inviting me to spend $4 or $5 grand. Well, how do I do that? Well, I'll go make it.
Yeah.
And then next time he's encouraging me or asking me to spend 25 grand with him. Okay, well, I'll find a way to do that. Mm-hmm. And then eventually it's like, there's just invitations, basically. It's just invitations to spend money with more of these people. And when you do it, you connect with bigger and better people.
You took the initiative, though. For somebody, $5,000 that's a lot of money.
Yeah.
It's to say that I'm going to spend $5,000 to go to this seminar
right.
to learn stuff, as opposed to, well, I could spend $5 grand and go fly to Hawaii and relax on the beach and drink Mai Tais for a couple
So
days.
I had because I put in my email for something with Grant Cardone. I had one of their sales guys reach out to me, and he's telling me, hey, if you spend 25 grand, we'll give you this VIP seat at this conference, and you'll get to talk to Grant. I'm like, no, I might have the opportunity to talk to Grant. I said, Grant has done some great stuff. I don't vibe with Grant. Mm-hmm. I don't vibe with him. I vibe with some other people, not with Grant. Mm-hmm. So I said, listen, man, you're telling me I could spend 25 grand to do this. Might get the opportunity. I'm in a sea of tons of people. Or I said, I can spend $7.5 grand, be up in a remote fishing lodge in the upper part of Saskatchewan, Canada, mm-hmm. with a multi-millionaire that's a global real estate with 11 other guys that are close to him that also do business. And I can spend 3 days fishing and making memories with them.
Oh, man. Slam dunk, yeah.
That's way more worth it. Now I'm going to be doing that again this year with the same guy. And I'm like, 2 years is going to still be less money than that one conference, and I'm earning so much out of it. I've got the boardroom mastermind now. I have other business opportunities out of it. I'm like, that's so much worth it. So it's not about what the price is. It's about who are you close to.
Interesting.
And so, actually, I was just talking to somebody else about this yesterday. It starts out with, what do you know? So how can I give value to somebody that's wealthy? Eventually, it's who you know. Mm. So for me, it was, how do I give value to this friend of mine? And I did, and we got connected, and it was great. Now, eventually, I know him. Now he's the one that told somebody else to reach out to me to invite me to something.
Now it's who knows you.
It's who now. And now it's who knows me.
Yeah.
And so I'm realizing that what you know gets you a little bit, who you know gets you further, who knows you makes you really wealthy.
Gotcha.
And I'm realizing that that's starting to come. It's starting to transition from who I know to who knows me. And I'm realizing the power of that transition right now. And so as long as you have that in your mindset for a younger guy, think about gaining knowledge. Mm-hmm. What do you know? Learn. Be able to connect with these people. Then eventually get to know people. Get in the way of these high net worth people. Find them. Find out who you want to know online and figure out, great, how do I get to know them? I'll go to this conference. I'll be connected with this person. I'll go to real estate groups. Finally, you meet somebody who knows that person. You ask for an introduction, or you introduce yourself, and now you're friends with that person. and now they're sending you pictures of their newborn baby that just came out of the hospital, and you're one of the people they send that to.
That's
no,
awesome.
whatever it is. It's
Yeah.
like once you're there, now you're the dude with capital, and now they're sending people to you to get capital with their network, and all of a sudden you're the finance guy. And so it transitions, but
Yeah. And
first
it doesn't happen overnight, obviously.
no. First, know your stuff, meet the right people, and then it's the value you can bring. So, yeah,
Okay. That's awesome, man.
that's what I
It's a
would.
good place to wrap, man. That's I like it.
Yeah.
We're gonna have to definitely do some deals.
Absolutely.
I want to get in I've got a ton of other questions of okay, how does this work? How diversified can we get? I want to do gas and oil just so I can say I'm in gas and oil. That's the only reason.
The biggest things with gas and oil are going to be the tax benefits, the write-offs.
Yeah.
Well, it's actually depreciation. So it's not going to hit your income, it's going to hit your taxes,
Yeah.
and the write-off of the income that even comes in from it. So most of the income that comes in from that is also tax deductible.
Awesome.
So
That'll be my backdoor approach to get onto Landman as an actor.
There you go.
Somehow.
perfect. You're like, I'm already in
I mean,
gas
in
and oil.
gas and oil.
Yeah.
That's what I do. Yeah.
Yeah, I want to know how to start like jumping into the acting realm.
Yeah,
think that
same
would be-
thing.
I think
It's
that'd
the
be a
exact
blast.
same process. Like you got to
Yeah.
be personable. I mean, obviously you are, so you got that going for you. It's just meeting people. It's. I'm trying to think when I first started. It was. I talk about it in my book actually, so you'll
Okay.
get the full download there. But it was met this person who introduced me to this person, and then
Right.
got on set and started doing this and this and this, and now it's. I can't say what the series of the movie is that's coming here to Spokane. I mean, Spokane, obviously, there's not a lot of opportunity.
Right.
So it's tough in that aspect. But, you can.
What was the first commercial you did?
First commercial I did, it was called Small Business Marketing Engine. It was just featured. I didn't have any lines or anything.
Yeah.
It was just like, okay, smile, do this, brush your teeth, look up, have a thought, look down, But it was, I got paid like $1,000.
Yeah.
And it paid the bills for us that month.
What was your first like line film or line?
First dialogue.
Yeah.
Oh man. I did a lot of extra and Z Nation stuff. I tried to sneak lines in if I could though, which is a big no-no. Like you're just an extra. You're the peon. You're the
Right.
You don't say-
Silence.
Yeah, just like if I could sneak a line in, and so I did that. What was my first line? It was definitely on a commercial, maybe an AT&T commercial or something. I don't even
something like
remember. I
that.
have to go back and look. But in the way that they treat background versus,
Yeah, you're good.
principal. You're good, yeah. Yeah, background versus the talent
Right.
is what they refer to it as. It's a world of difference.
The background versus talent.
Yeah, background is like, you're like it's the background. It's like you're the peasants or something. But then when you're talent, it's like, oh, what can we do for you, Phil?
Oh, jeez.
Shine your shoes.
So
whatever.
I have a friend of mine, David Henry, who's in the film industry,
Mm-hmm.
and he's known for his spot in Wizards of Waverly Place. But I've got
Yeah.
to know the Henrys over time, just as they're moved to the area.
Didn't he come up and say hi to you when I was meeting with you
Yes.
over? Okay, yeah.
Yes, that was him. Yep. And building that relationship, that's been wonderful because it's not about what I can get from them. I don't have an autograph with him. I don't have a picture with him. Who cares? He's my friend. He's not a celebrity. He's my friend. And I think what's great about that is learning how to connect with people in that way. But I've asked David, I was like, hey, they're in Europe right now doing some TV show at the moment. But I've asked him, I was like, hey, let me know if there's ever a time I can just like help on set. Just somehow, I just want to see how things work. You
Yeah.
know? And he's like, I'll let you know. So we'll see if that ever happens in the future. But
I'll definitely let you know,
yeah.
man. Next time
Yeah.
I'm on set, if it's not some big production I don't have control
yeah,
of. but
I would love to.
Yeah,
And
it's
then his dad, Jim Henry, was in a lot of real estate early on. And so he and I are going to be doing some real estate stuff together, which is
Awesome.
great.
That's awesome, man.
But no, they're so I have like maybe 2 or 3 connections in the film industry now. I have the Henrys.
Get to know
I have,
these guys.
I have
Get to
you
know
and
that
I
guy
have
right
Micah.
there and that guy right there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's like it's a extended family. It's you and it's the Henrys. So
Okay.
I don't know. We'll see.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. That sounds good, man.
But
cool. Well, appreciate you, man. Thanks for coming
absolutely.
out. So, you
No, thanks for
hungry?
doing this. This
Yeah.
is great.
It was fun.
Yeah. And man, I think we'll do a lot of business together. This will
I
be great.
want to. Yeah. It'll be.
Yeah.
This year, where the big focus for us is just getting a house. If we're pushing it off to next year, but it's getting enough.
Upgrading, downgrading?
No, because we sold our house 2 years ago this February to invest
gotcha.
back into the company, back to like, what am I willing to give up? We
Yeah.
sold the house. Rachel was in tears. She's like, I know this is a good decision. I'm just sad. I'm like, all right, we're going to do it.
Yeah.
And we invested it back into the company. We bought 2 more books of business in the Medicare industry. And so that's why we're
Good.
building back up. Like we just got a book paid off last month. I get another one paid off at the end of this year.
Good.
So that's,
When you told me you had a certain amount of capital rolling in, and then
Yeah.
for every like consecutive year, I was kind of like, okay, well, something's changed.
yeah. In
This
a
is
few
good.
years from now, it's going to be, assuming that, we don't get bombed by China or something. I don't
Right.
know. It's going to get progressively better and better and better. But
That's
once
awesome.
we get the house, though, then all of that free capital, we can just put it wherever.
Perfect.
It's either throw it
Yeah.
in the S&P 500 or make a way better return and give it to money bags.
It all depends. The S&P 500 goes up and down, but a hard loan with real estate stays at where you put it.
Yeah. I tried to short the market and lost my shirt. I mean, we didn't lose
Yeah.
a ton of money. I put in like 40 or 50,000 and lost like 40 grand. I'm like, well, I won't do that again.
Yeah.
It's like, just enough about investing to get in trouble, as opposed to
Right.
not knowing anything and just putting it in the S&P 500, or knowing so much you're like, I'm not going to try. I'm just going to put it in the,
Right.
Yeah.
I've had to learn so much about investing recently. Like I never knew what depletion was.
Depletion.
At the first few rounds of investing, I'm like, oh, I'm investing here, I get 5% interest, or I get 5% equity. And I'm like, well, that's not the case, because after the A and B rounds done, that depletion goes away, and now I'm at 3.5%. But I need pro rata rights to be able to reinvest money. Do I get that? Well, I get that at a certain level, so I need to invest this much so I can
Yeah.
reinvest. And learning all this stuff that I have to learn to protect my investors.
Mm-hmm.
And so anyway, it's just, there's so much to learn about investing.
You're so young too, man. That's, I wish I would have figured that out sooner.
I feel the same way when I look at my younger brothers, which are the same distance that we're apart in age.
Yeah.
I look at them and I'm like, guys, if I had known this at your age,
Do what I'm telling you,
yeah,
please.
seriously. So it's you have to realize that you can lead a horse to water, you can't make him drink.
Yeah.
So the best way to do it is honestly put yourself in a position where you can actually help them, instead of, and let them see it. Let them see you take off and do your thing. And then when they need it, you're actually in a place where you can easily help them, instead of just give them the road. You could actually give them an opportunity.
Yeah. Open doors for them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's kind of what I'm focusing on now.
They're like, okay, if older brother buys the Gulfstream, then they just get to use it, right?
Right. Yeah, eventually it's
awesome.
going to be some nice jets. We'll see.
That's awesome, man.
Anyway.
Cool. You know what you should do is I thought about this. The energy that gets built up, back to the acting thing,
Yeah.
is just hire a couple security guys, just 2 bodyguards, and just have them follow you wherever you go. And people it's weird, but the energy, like people are like, whoa, who is that? And they immediately start pulling out their phones and they're like, he must be somebody
Yes.
really important.
Yes. I've
Just the
seen
idea.
this as a spoof before.
Yeah.
And it was incredible how people immediately went on the bandwagon without knowing who it was, tried to make it sound like they're a big fan or something.
Yeah.
People like to be next to people they perceive as successful.
Yeah.
And that is a trick to do that kind of thing with, that's for sure.
I get that. You'd be surprised at when you tell somebody you're in a movie, or somebody says, oh yeah, Phil was in this movie. How many people ask, oh my gosh, are you famous? Like, well,
Right. You're like, if you obviously
well, if I was
you,
famous, you would know who I am. You're asking me if I'm famous.
you're like, obviously not that famous.
Yeah.
You don't know who I am.
I don't know if I told this on another podcast. I do this.
I like actually seeing famous people and not treating them like they're famous.
Treat them
and
like a
just
normal
treating them like they're
person.
normal
Yeah.
people. I've met
I
more
appreciate you
so-
treating me normally. Phil.
Yeah, you're welcome,
Yeah,
Stephen.
thank you.
Anytime. Yeah, absolutely. Wanted to make sure that was good here. But I've done that to multiple celebrities at different times, and just being like, "How's it going, man?
Yeah.
Hope you enjoy your stay," or whatever it is, and just like, "Hey, don't worry about it,"
Yeah.
And just maybe saying hi, but not saying hi like, "Can I get a picture with it?" Or just being like, "Hey, man,
Yeah.
how's it going?
Yeah.
Enjoy your day."
That would be almost a seed for like, ask a question or two, have a good, quick conversation. Don't get a selfie. Don't get an
Right.
autograph. Then if you run into that person down the road, it's like, oh, hey, yeah, I had the chance to meet you back on this day. We talked about this. Good to see you again.
Right.
You almost are like, oh, yeah, he cared more than just trying to get a selfie.
Right.
And
I don't care how famous you are. I care about your character.
yeah,
Like, I've met some people that are famous. I'm like, wow, you're a letdown.
yeah,
You suck. You know? And there's other people I'm like, no, you're a really cool guy. Like, I've met some people. I'm like, hey, I just want to get to know you.
yeah,
Like, you were around the same age. What have you done? What are you here for? What are you doing? I'm like, cool. And then it's never about asking something from them. It's just about saying hi, being interested in what they're doing, congratulating them. And then it starts to just come around.
yeah.
So it's, just treating them normal. Like, I treat you normal, Yeah.
Appreciate that. I had this one time where I was down in Boise, and I'm down there with my parents, and we're walking down the street, and I just wrapped up a short film. It was just a fun thing that we did with a friend of mine. And I'd gotten ahead of my parents. They were talking to somebody, and so there's this group of people, and I was talking with them. I didn't know who they were, but we're talking about acting and stuff. And I said, guys, I'm in this little short film. Check this out. Here's my IMDb page. Hey, do me a favor. My parents are back there. Pretend like you just saw me, and you're like so excited to see me. And you just fly off the handle. You're like, oh my God, are you Stephen Morton? And so I'm like, don't tell them. And so they do. They
fantastic.
come out of the building or something, and they're like, oh my God, are you Stephen Morton? Oh my gosh, can I get your autograph? I'm like, oh yeah, it's fine, guys. And my parents are like flabbergasted. They're like, wow, Stephen, does this happen all the time? I'm like, oh yeah, pretty much
You're
everywhere
like,
I go.
it's kind of tiring, honestly. It's exhausting.
It's exhausting. Yeah, it's wearing me out. Yeah, I need to get some bodyguards now.
That's hilarious.
So
That's awesome. Those are great stories.
cool, man. Appreciate you.
All right, likewise. Well,
You hungry?
yeah, a little bit.
Okay, let's get something.
Yeah, we'll grab something.